Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we'll be taking these IKEA bar stools and giving them a fresh new look by painting them gold and black. These stools are actually pretty old. The two on the side are around 15 years old, and the one in the middle is around 10 years old. I could easily just buy some new stools and replace these, but I thought since they still work, and I don't like just throwing things away in the garbage, we could get a custom look and also reduce our waste. We ended up trying two combinations of paint for this. Both were gold and black, but one was more of a metallic gold. At the end of the video, I'll show you which one we preferred. To start, we first taped the black plastic feet and also the black padding around the footrest area using painter's tape. Next, we unscrewed the legs from the base and also the backrest. Now you should know that once you unscrew the legs, the bar stool will no longer have any structure to it, and it can easily fall down, so just be careful with that. After taping everything and unscrewing, I moved everything to the garage. I put down a large piece of cardboard that I had sitting around from something I purchased a couple of weeks before. If you're into doing these little projects, especially painting, it's handy to save these pieces of cardboard as they act as a base for your projects, rather than going out there and buying a plastic drop sheet or something. It'll save you money and it's also better for the environment. So I first sprayed one side of the seat and the backrest. I ended up letting it dry for 24 hours just to make sure it was super dry before I flipped it and sprayed the other side. When you do flip the board, you want to be careful to place it on something small that will hold the piece somewhat elevated off the ground. This will help prevent the piece from sticking to the ground. I just used the caps from my spray cans, and that worked pretty well. Another step you want to do is also paint the screws that are visible, such as the ones at the back of the backrest. This will give your project a nice finished look. You'll see that for the legs, I sprayed them as if they're in the seating position. I found this to be the easiest way of painting them. To keep them upright, I used some bricks and also wood to prevent them from sliding. You can use whatever you have on hand that's somewhat heavy and also you don't mind getting a bit of paint on. After spraying everything, I applied clear coat to it. I just did this to protect the paint, as I think the stool will get a lot of touch, and I didn't want the paint to chip. I also found that metallic paint is actually a bit more sensitive compared to regular paint in terms of being scratched or chipping. You can also consider applying a primer first to the legs. This will help the paint adhere. The paint I used was a combination of primer and paint, but I do think a first primer coat might not be a bad idea, but that's up to you. So here you have the finished product. I think this turned out really well. You'll see that I only painted two of the chairs as I kind of ran out of time and I want to pause on this while I was doing a bunch of other things around the house. I also want to show you again what it looked like before. Overall, I'm really happy with how this turned out and I think it was worth doing. As I mentioned, we ended up using two combinations of paint. The stool with the smaller backrest used the russoli black matte for the seat and the backrest. The legs used their pure gold paint. I found that the pure gold paint was nice, but it had a slightly green tint to it in certain lighting. It also wasn't as rich in gold as I'd liked. So for the second chair, the one with the larger backrest, I used russoli metallic gold for the legs. I like the results of this paint a lot more. It had a cleaner gold color to it, without that slight hint of green that I saw in the other paint. Overall, this project cost me around $20 per chair to do. Nowadays, I know IKEA actually sells these same bar stools with black seats and backrests, so all you need to do in that case is paint the legs. That would make this a $10 project. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please hit subscribe and also the like button, along with turning on notifications so you'll see our next video. Thanks for watching.